Welcome to ANZ Combined Racing League for round two of the 1995 Kart IndyCar Championship. I'm your host Neil Haynes, and this replay was from the race on Sunday night, and we're here at Fontana. It's Motor Speedway, 4 turns in the typical sense of an oval track, and it's a super speedway here at Fontana, and as you can see, it's our inaugural race here for ANZCRL, and it's flat out all the way around with a little bit of lift as tyre wear is a factor later in the race. So let's have a look to see the standings before we came here after having round one at Long Beach, and you can see Christopher Razor out in front from Dado Racer Scar in third position, and Timmy82 Woody Lizard in fifth for the top five. You can see Jay Barrett, that unfortunate DNF that cost him points, half points he got for the championship, as did Mr. Stomp. He got half points, so there was only points to 12. Normally obviously 11th and 12th would be 2 points and 1 point, but DNF score half a point. And unfortunately Slide Science with his engine and John Slow with his accident at Long Beach were in 13th and 14th. So we had qualifying, and you can see that Red, for his introduction into the series, put it on pole with a 29.818, a sensational lap, just nudging out Dado Racer, who had pole for a while until Red claimed that near the end of the lap. And Christopher, the leader of the championship, in position 3, so he'll be happy there. And G-Dude in 4th position. Scar, who's in position 3, all the way down in 11th position too, so he's got a bit of work to do. And unfortunately, position 9, Jagkos, we were unable to get confirmation with a driver briefing for him, so unfortunately we had to say goodbye before the races. We did have some rules and regulations concerning this track. We had a verbal safety car call out cue, so everyone would have to be in party, like in voice comms, to be able to hear that if it was called, and also pit entry and exit. Obviously we'd seen him during the qualifying and practice not abiding by our rules, where we're trying to enter into turn 3, which is the last banking, and follow the apron into pit entry, and then on exit you had to stay around the inside apron until the back straight. So it was going to be a bit hard without confirmation from him, so we thought the best to err on the side of caution. So for this round we had tyre wear still at times 4, but fuel was at accelerated rate, just so the fuel could last a little bit longer, as these cars were on full revs for a long time, so obviously going around the circuit. So engine problems could have been an issue if guys had too much boost and not enough air coming in with the radiators closed. So let's have a look at the start of this race. We've got 80 laps around here. So here we go, just taking the start of the race, and Christopher is around already through turn 1. Just missed the start, sorry. As we're just getting it organised. So Christopher's out in front. Reds has had a bit of a problem at the start of the race. Sorry for not getting quite the start of the race, but he missed the start. Oh, and a couple of cars have gone down on the apron there, and that's, big moment from Red into the barrier. And at this stage, this was not called for a yellow, unfortunately, so Red was just a little bit unsure if he should have called the red, the yellow, sorry, the caution. As it is, unfortunately, we're going to have that all race of Jagkos, half sunken into turn 3. But here we go, so Christopher out in front, just in front of Jay Barrett, as they come filtering through down the back straight. Awesome run in there as Mr. Stompy in position 8, but it's Jay Barrett having a run on Christopher. Don't mind the car sunken into the asphalt. That was not seen by the drivers, obviously. And look at Joshua Hill right on the back of Jay Barrett, putting the pressure on, and Dado's gonna join in for the fun. They very quick laps around here, half a minute, 30 seconds. The laps get counted down. Some of the guys may have been thinking that maybe a safety car would have been called with Red, but Red also thought that he may not be able to get back or being disqualified, or something was being called in the comp. So hopefully next time we may see a safety car with an incident like that. And here comes Jay Barrett on the high side. And no, he tucks it back down inside. No, he's coming back up on the high side to put a challenge on Christopher. Trying to get the toe right up on the back of his gearbox. So he's gone the high side. Now Christopher's taking the low line. He's been going the low line all the way around. And there's a bit of a battle going on here at the back with Ashley trying to hold off Timmy behind him. But Josh Hill has taken the low line and up into position 2 on Jay Barrett. But Jay Barrett's fighting back on the high side, but just has to back it out a little bit. Joshua Hill now. Oh, Jay Barrett's gone really wide by the looks of things. No, he's been able to hold on to it. And Christopher, again, in his position that he found himself at the end of round 1, up in front, but he's got some challenges here tonight. So this is a race replay from Sunday night here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League for round 2. And Joshua Hill's trying to do the best he can to unsettle Christopher. Great driving by these guys. So we expect the pit window. They've got to look, trying to aim for 20 laps. The tyres are going to be the telling factor with that accelerated tyre wear. So, I mean the times 4 tyre wear, sorry. Accelerated fuel burn. Accelerated fuel. So the fuel will probably get them to that around that lap 20 mark anyway. The tyres with a little bit of aggressive driving, as you say. Christopher now just starting to get a little bit of a margin, pulled a little bit from Joshua Hill. It's all about tyre management. So the tyres will be holding in still for most of these drivers, but around that lap 15 to 20 is where some of these drivers are going to find that times 4 tyre wear is really going to start to hurt that front right hand tyre. And as you can see, these cars do not lift off unless they start to push wide. Is the only times that they may think about lifting, just to try and get that car back down the line. While those tyres are grippy, these guys are going. And Jay Barrett now having a good look for position 2 on Joshua Hill. He's had a nice run down the back straight and around the outside, and he pulls back down to the white line. Nice driving from Jay Barrett. All the meantime, Joshua Hill will be seeing if he can keep that pace, because not too far away from him is this man, Dado Racer. Oh, he's just tagged the wall. He's run wide and he's down on the low line. Is he coming into the pits, or is he just recovering himself? But then we got Scar at the moment, just starting to bring himself up. He's qualified in position 11. This man is currently 3rd in the championship. And he's got a little run on here on Wadey. Is he going to make this thing work for him? Trying to ride around the outside. What a move this can be. And no, tucks back inside, and there's that battle still going between Timmy and Ashley. Timmy looks like he's just got him, but here goes Scar down the inside. Can he keep it sticking here from Jay Wade? Yes, he can. So now he's just got to go up towards Woody Lizard, but Jay Wade has some other thing, an answer to Scar. Tell you what, Wade is here to race tonight in position 7. Oh, a big let off from Jay Wade. Has he got some tyre issue problems there? He's really seemed to let off on the entry into turn 3 and through turn 4. He's got the power back on. That was a bit crazy. I thought Scar almost was going to collect him on entry. But he's hanging it on the outside, and this has actually brought Mr. Stompy now into contention. So this battle is for 7th position. The Unicorn all the way there in position 12. Red has actually retired. They were unable to fix his car. As Timmy's starting just to fall on the wayside, but way back up front again. But he's still putting pressure on Ashley. As I just said, that it looks like he's on the wayside. He's still got some pace there. As Scar has been able to... something happened there with... Wade's into the pits. So he's the first one in on lap 16. That's fairly early. And Scar and Mr. Stompy are working together. And in the 30s, as Woody's pushed really wide. So Woody Lizard, tyre problems for him. Might be only a matter of time until we see him go. Look at him pushing wide. He can't keep the car turned on the low line. As they get through G-Dude. So G-Dude's had a mistake too. So all tyres are suffering for the mid-pack. But up front, Christopher still powering around on lap 18. Going to start his 19th lap. And it's Jay Barrett still keeping him honest here. But Joshua Hill's now slowed. He's actually really come away from that pack. As Woody Lizard is now into the pits, as is G-Dude. G-Dude's coming in hard as well, so trying to make up some time if he can on the Lizard into pit entry. Oh, he's locked the brakes up as he's coming in. Mr. Stompy up in 6th position, still following Scar. They will think these guys will be starting to come into pit lane now. One more lap around for Dado Racer, as he can see himself at the moment. Just see they're lifting off now, and look at Scar. Scar has absolutely got this car on rails. He has got it tuned up for the long haul. As in goes Joshua Hill into pit lane, and Scar's going to be able to go around again for another loop around. Christopher is in pit lane. Jay Barrett stayed out as well. So Jay Barrett's taken the lead of the race. There's Christopher in the pit lane, and Scar also staying out as well. So they're still doing some respective times as of 30.7. In comes Jay Barrett. As you can see, they've got to come down into that apron, as does Scar as well. So Ashley is coming in as well. So a few drivers stayed out. They're all coming in. Mr. Stompy's in. Ashley, Dado's coming in as well. The Unicorn's in. They're all coming in. Christopher will take the effective lead as he's now on exit. So all those cars you can see are now in the pit lane. And the question will be, where will Joshua Hill and Woody Lizard come out? Because they pitted earlier and they may be in a position to come out in front of some of these guys that are in pit lane still. Got Scar just coming out, so he's made a mammoth amount of time. The man that's currently third in the championship, qualified in 11th position, and finds himself second. But Joshua Hill's coming on hard, on full throttle. So Christopher's been able to gain a few extra seconds on second place. I think he went in there with about a 6-second lead. Now he's got a 7-second lead. And Woody Lizard up into 5th position as well. So he's jumped Dado Racer and Ashley Cucci up into 6th position. Great position through the pits for him. And G-Dude is not too far away from the Unicorn, or about 2 seconds. The Unicorn's doing a good job in position 10. Learning all about the ovals, and many were. And here we go, Mr. Stompy under pressure from Woody Lizard. And Woody Lizard pitted about 3 laps earlier than Mr. Stompy, so the tyres will probably be just starting to really get into a good zone for Woody. And his fuel load will be a little bit less as well, so he's really pushing here. See if he can try and make a move somewhere. Obviously, Woody doesn't look like he's got the confidence to go on the high line. It's all about the cars being dialed in to see, and Woody's taken right down the low line. You can just see how he is confident in the low line more than the high line. As Dado's coming under immense pressure from Ashley. And here comes Woody. Looks like he may have it up into position 4. So Mr. Stompy ran wide. Oh, and he's down into the pits though. Was Mr. Stompy actually one of the early ones to pit? I can't remember now, but Dado Racer. You can see in the background, Dado's just still holding off Ashley Cucci. But it's obviously Scar, the man of the moment, other than Christopher taking the lead of this race. But Scar has done a tremendous job, going from 11th to 2nd in that round of pit stops. So, no, he didn't go in at 11th when he pitted. He worked his way up through the field. Obviously didn't have the qualifying pace in this car, but he's definitely got race pace. As they just put a, I think, a lap car down. The Wadey was going well. He's bound into position 12 as well. So, might be Wade running wide. No, it's not him. He's coming now down through, onto the back straight. But he's a long way off from, he's almost a lap down from Mr. Stompy, who's in 11th position. But up front, here we go with Christopher. You just see the nice, easy steering inputs that he's having. Just bringing it up towards the wall nicely, trying to carry as much speed as possible, trying to limit the amount of steering angle required. Utilise that banking to help him rotate around as cars come into the pit lane. The Unicorn on the brakes and puff of smoke. And you can just see the track is still fairly bumpy. A lot of work from the suspension to keep this car, the chassis, stable. As all know, the purest of oval races know it's just more than just turning left. There's so many variables. They got weight jackers to think about to help them get through corners, to help them if the car's pushing up to the high line. They can put a little bit more weight jacker on. Try and get it so it can bite and turn in a little bit better. Hold that corner. Great view for on board here above Christopher as he negotiates his Fontana circuit. But here's a good battle here. And we do have the cockpit angle. Oh, as there we go. I thought we had lost Scar for a second, but he ran wide. You just see a little lift for a moment there from Joshua Hill. Look at the max speed they're getting, 390 kilometres an hour, 394 I think it nudged on the back straight, in the toe. He's come out, he's looking down the inside. And he's made that stick, so Joshua Hill back up into position 2. Last time he got up there, I don't think he held it for too long. Let's see how he's going to go at this stage. Woody Lizard still in position 4. Just holding off Dado at the moment, doing good job, 1.6 seconds. So he's got a little healthy margin, but is he starting to catch these two as well as they start into, he was fastest lap around there was a 30.2, but then back into 30.6, and Dado's done the 30.2. So it's seesawing around at the moment, but it's almost at that stage where Woody Lizard would be looking for another pit stop as he went in on lap 18, I think it was. So lap 36 would be another 18, or is he going to try and extend it out a little bit? The critical number really is lap 60. Will be the final pit stop to be able to get to the end for most drivers if they can squeeze out 20. The fuel should last, as we've seen. Jay Barrett got 21 laps. So that's the most important factor here for the drivers to really now start thinking, is there going to be a safety car? It's all spread out now, but after each pit stop, then it gets a bit crowded here and there. So there could be possibility of safety cars. As Woody Lizard, is he slowing, but he's missed the pit entry, so he's going to go one around. And a lot of steering input there by the looks of things. So he's washing. So he'd be increasing that weight jacker for sure to try and get through this last lap. He's tumbling. He did a 31.2 that last lap around, a second off the pace. So he's going to be coming into the clutches of this man, Ashley Cucci, before. He's probably going to peel off here into pit lane, Woody Lizard. Is he going to do one more? Looks like no, he's into down the lane. So in he comes as all the other drivers filter through. Is anyone else going to follow Woody Lizard in? Christopher's still up in front. Jay Hill coming under another attack from Scar. Scar might be just happy just to hold here, but it doesn't look like he's having a little look. He's down that low line, but then drifted up here. Look how high he sort of drift there. I don't know if that was intentionally. That could be a little bit of the tyre wash or aero wash happening. One of the two. He could be starting to lose the grip of those tyres. They did go like a cliff once they reach that 50% mark. With the high loads of these tyres. As here he comes, Scar's having a good look down the inside. As Joshua Hill, sorry. I thought he was going to run very wide there, but he's able to hold it. As G-Dude's into the pit lane again. Getting work done. Now Jay Barrett, he's all the way in 5th position, so he was the early driver putting pressure on Christopher in position 2. And this middle stint, he's actually just been in that position 5. So obviously just probably trying to manage this run maybe to try and go long again. And his plan may be to attack late in this race. So half race distance, as a lot of the drivers are coming in for their pit stops. So Ashley's pumping out some lap times as well, but the fastest man on that previous lap was this man here, Jay Barrett, as Christopher's into the pit lane. Dado goes in as well. So it looked like Dado went caught a bit late, so that was a bit cheeky. Needs to make sure that they come on in on the early of turn 3. So that'll be warning for next time for sure. So Jay Barrett now, he takes it down the inside the right line, as you can see. Right around, it's a long way around. Oh, he's fighting that car. The rear is just spitting out, but Ashley's going one extra lap than everyone else. He must be on vapours. So he'd be coming in this way in the famous... I've got a mental blank, sorry guys. Of the livery. Jack Villeneuve. And in he comes. So he peels in. And makes the most of that as well. So he just got in the on the turn 3 entry. So he's coming in. Lord Dado's been able to leapfrog Woody Lizard out of the pit lane. So good move from Dado into position 7. Ashley's into the pits now. So it's still the same. Scars just in front of by 2 seconds on Joshua Hill, but look at G-Dude go. His tyres are up to pressure and he's putting that lot of pressure now and less fuel as well as he goes down the inside cheekily on Dado Racer to be on the same lap as him, though he's still got cars in front that he needs to clear. As Jay Barrett doing a good job. So Dado will be wanting to obviously clear. As what's going on here. Look at this. 3 wide as we got Mr. Stompy going down for position 3 from Jay Hill. Unbelievable move that was. But they were contending some lap traffic. And look at them all go. So here we go. Dado, this is what's happening now. So Dado's now got this pace and he's got to now try and find his way back through past G-Dude. So G-Dude's obviously trying to make the comeback trail. And just remember, they're all thinking, is there going to be another yellow? Well, not even a yellow. We haven't even had one yet, a safety car intervention yet. And this is what they're hoping for, some of these drivers that find them fighting in this pack at the moment. They're trying to see if they can get hopefully a yellow comes out and they may be able to go right around and get back onto the lead lap if the cars in front decide to pit. They might be able to get around, but then they're going to be vulnerable because they'll be out of sequence. And no car will be able to get to the end. So, in comes a few cars now, and it's getting a very busy in this part of the circuit with these lap cars, and Dado's fighting hard with G-Dude. Oh, is that a bump? Almost a bump. Look at this, a little touch. There is a touch. G-Dude up in the wall. Battling as a blue flag and got the consequences there in the Team Penske car. You won't be happy about that, but it was hard racing there with Dado Racer as he now is trying to see if he can get onto the back of Barrett, who's up a bit further up the road. This is obviously a lapped car of Wade. So he's up the high side. Dado just easily comes down the inside. This time gives a lot of room. That could have been then disaster for Dado with him and G-Dude. So that was lucky. He got through that. So Christopher's still leading this race. Lap 49 of 80. Going to start lap 50, so 30 to go. And he's just coming up to try and put a lap on Mr. Stompy. This will be 2 laps down for Mr. Stompy. But look at this battle here. Scar and Jay Barrett fighting out for position 2 and 3 at the moment. With Joshua Hill again coming on that late charge, and he seems to be able to just pull out these times late in his stints. It's probably mid-stint. We did see Joshua Hill actually go long. I think it was Ashley actually went long the previous time around. So just remember the lap that most guys, to be able to get to the end, were looking at lap 60. That was about the runs that they were getting. They were averaging about 20 laps, and that's the end of their tyres. So what to do also with a bit of aero set up. Some of the guys have trimmed out the front a little bit, and obviously wearing those tyres out in traffic. And other guys running a little bit more aero at the front seem to be able to hold these lines a lot better late in the stints as well. So some went for all out pace. And here we go, Joshua Hill down the inside. Nice move, up into position 3 for Joshua. But again, Scar's thinking, hang on, I'm going to have another look down on the inside. And here he comes, back down the inside. Nice move, but just pushing wide, scrubbing off some pace here. And that is giving Joshua Hill an easy position for sure. So those tyres of Scar's are just not giving him the confidence. He was down the low line and he just drifted right up to the high line. So how's that faring now? Maybe he just got his turn in wrong, because he's able to hold a tight line and come out really shallow to again. So we've seen 3 position changes within 2 laps. And this time he's held a better line. So maybe he just got his initial turn wrong into turn 3, which upset him through turn 4. But here we go. We've got Joshua Hill's going to take a high line around. He might have thought he had some better grip there. Yeah, we're not forgetting about Christopher. He's well and truly out in front by 11 seconds. But this is the battle. For third position, sorry. Jay Barrett up the road by 2 and a bit seconds, as you can see on your screens. The timing. This has been an intense battle. Joshua Hill and Scar, they're just swapping positions lap after lap. With Dado Racer now slowly getting the ability to catch up to him as these guys are battling. But that previous lap around, Dado was a little bit slower, so he's still losing just a little bit of time, just losing touch to these guys. Some great racing here for ANZCRL sim racers out there. Make sure you join us. Have a look at our website. As this is a 6-round series, we end with a famous Indy 500, a 200 lapper, the full length race. Instead of being on a Sunday, it will be on a Saturday. The dates are all on our website. But just so you know, our big Indy 500, which is a special event, we're allowing one obviously for that as well, will be the Saturday 20th of May. So put that on your in your diaries. As some of these drivers coming in pit lane, they're going to find it a little bit hard to get to the end. They have to manage their fuel as G2 just coming out of pit lane. Woody Lizard with a 33 that previous time, so struggling big time, but obviously here he comes, he's going down the low line. Ashley, who's in position 7, would have seen that. Will Ashley come into the pit lane? He was the last one out, so he'll probably stay out. He'll maybe benefit here late in the race, maybe. As he's been able to go around again, so he did this and took the lead of the race the previous round of pit stops for staying out, but he's almost a lap behind Christopher at this stage, so he may take the opportunity to pit when Christopher does, as he's just coming around there in the background. So here's Chris. And he's staying out for another lap too, so his tyres are holding in and also managing fuel and still doing a 30.160. Jay Barrett with a 29.976 that previous lap. Sensational time. He's got the fastest lap, Jay Barrett, at the moment with a 29.820 back on lap 38 we saw. But look at the car coming around now. So here he comes into the pit lane. Will Jay Barrett follow? He's still on the high line. So actually he's coming on the front straight. So he's going to go around once more. So fuel economy and tyres have been good for Jay Barrett. 30.4 that previous lap. And Ashley Cucci as well, probably a race it could have been, still doing a 30.3 as well. So if he didn't lose touch with the leaders, he may well and truly been, as Christopher's come in, Christopher's still in, sorry. So, and Scar's staying out with a 30.2 as well. And he's coming in. You can just see how they're fighting to take that tighter line. And what's Ashley going to do? He's on the high line, so he's still going to be doing another lap around. So this is amazing economy from Ashley. And what's his lap time? This will be telling. A 30.3, so he's not losing that much time, staying out longer as well. So he's absolutely got this car dialed in, but obviously just the race hasn't fallen his way at this stage. Haven't seen any major mistakes from him as he comes in nicely, holds that line. So Woody Lizard, he was battling Christopher earlier. But with the way that Christopher's tyre life is, he's gone in around about, it's actually 5 laps after Woody Lizard. So Woody Lizard's already burnt his fuel. Probably just lifting a little bit too, just to make sure his fuel can get to the end. I think he pitted on, I think he did actually get to lap 60 actually, so it's actually only 3 laps difference. Timmy's doing a good job there in position 9. The Scar again has been able to do his pit stops, seems to do these pit stops and get in and out that little bit better than Joshua Hill, because he's got that half a second margin on Joshua when they were so close when they came in. And Mr. Stompy, he's just out of sequence unfortunately. I think that he's going to have to come in again before the end of the race. So he's in position 5. And again, another driver that's been showing some good consistent pace. It was about half a second off the previous lap that he just did, so that's not so consistent when you're talking ovals. You want to be within 0.1 of a second or so, or even less if you can. But is this because we're starting to see his tyres drop off as well? The numbers are starting to come down to the last 10 laps. Christopher still out in front, as you can see, by a good 8-second margin on Jay Barrett. Jay Barrett's previous lap was better, but what's this lap? This is the telling lap here, and again, a little bit better. So he's slowly bridging that gap between himself and Chris, but he may be running out of laps unless we get a late safety car. He's a nice battle. I thought for a second there, I thought Woody was a little bit closer, 1.2 seconds. Again, G-Dude's another driver we can actually say that probably had the pace, but obviously a few little problems. And I think he actually had problems where they didn't change the tyre or did something in a pit stop, or it might have been weighty that happened. So unfortunately, some pit stop errors have cost these drivers as well. As Mr. Stompy was in the pit lane, as we said, he was out of sequence, so he's going to fall down the order. Dado in 5th position, and what's he got? He's got about a 5-second gap between him and Joshua Hill, who's in 4th, and he's got plenty of big gap from Ashley. As Woody is starting to catch Ashley by the looks of things. Let's jump on board. And enjoy a couple of laps here as we can watch Woody Lizard see how he goes chasing down Ashley, as Ashley's a little bit slow on entry. I think he would have to be conserving any sort of fuel or tyres, as he was the last man pitted, so he should have the fresher tyres. But don't forget as well, he probably have more fuel on board obviously than Woody Lizard. I think they'll burn in something around about 10 or 11 litres a lap with the accelerated fuel burn. So at this stage, it looks like Woody has got a nice little run here. He's got down the inside. And Ashley's just saying, yeah, well, Ashley's not getting too perplexed over it, because I think that he knows that he's got some solid pace in that Pac West. I mean, the Team Green, sorry. How would I say Pac West? Team Green car. And just a little footnote as well about this series. If you notice that obviously Christopher is in a Reynard Ford Cosworth, a different livery to what he was. He was in the Newman Haas number 6 Lola Ford Cosworth. It's just because, unfortunately, at this stage, the Lola chassis just do not run around these super speedways as good as the Reynard. So there's a little bit of a difference in speed. I think it was about 1.5 seconds on their best times, and they couldn't hold a line either. They had to take it from wide down to the inside of the apex and out again. So it wasn't safe for racing. So they were able to, all the Lola drivers were able to jump into the Reynard chassis, but with the same engine make. So hence why the change of cars. And let's have a look here. Scar's still in 3rd position as G-Dude comes into the pits, again out of sequence so he can get to the end. 4 laps remaining, and the battle's on here with Joshua Hill. And he's having a big push here, big go, as he knows the time is running out. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes left of this race. As Dado's a long way back as well. So Dado's probably not going to nearly 5 seconds. Oh, but there's actually a time penalty for Joshua Hill, a 10-second time penalty for Joshua Hill. So he's got a 10-second time penalty, so that should see Dado Racer up into position 4. That'll gift Dado a 4th position. Woody Lizard still in front but pushing wide at this stage, and here comes Barrett. I think behind them as Woody's fighting hard as he knows it's near the end of this race. But I don't think he could get down the inside at that stage, so Ashley's been able to take that down the inside as Barrett now comes flying through on his chase to Christopher. 29.840. Almost betters his fastest time for 29.820 as Woody went really wide. But here we go to take the victory here, round 2 at Fontana. Christopher just hanging behind, I think, G-Dude. And he's going to take 2 from 2. He opened up the season with a win at Long Beach, and here he is at Fontana. Well done. Good drive from Christopher from grid position 3 to 1st position. What a great run from him. Or has he got one more to go? He's still going hard, so it's actually one more. This is it. This will be the final. I had my lap counts done wrong. So here we go. Last time around this time. And the checker's out. And he'll be happy there. He's had a dominant display. Into second. Not too far though. 6 seconds behind is Jay Barrett. He put in a big charge. As did this man Scar. So good position for him. 3 from 3 for him. He got 3rd at Long Beach. And 3rd here at Fontana. Joshua Hill will drop down because Dado Racer, obviously with that 10-second penalty. Ashley comes home in 7th to Woody Lizard. Timmy comes home there in 7th. But let's bring up the results. And as you can see, there we go. The greyed out cars, as you can see, they're the drivers that are normally in the Lola chassis. So you can see there that we had the 5 drivers all in the Ford Cosworths that are normally in the Lola Cosworth. So 5 cars on the lead lap, and Ashley leading lap down, just beating Woody Lizard in the end, and Timmy in 8th. And then 2 laps down was Mr. Stompy, G-Dude in 10th, and John Wade in 11th. Both those drivers also picking up 10-second penalties, and the Unicorn got disqualified, didn't finish as well with exceeding pit limits. I think he got a couple of exiting the pits a little bit too fast, or coming in too fast. So that's that problem there, and Red obviously that damage. And here's the podium, guys. And it's a big congratulations to Christopher in the substitute car of the 17 Pac West Racing Reynard. And then we've got obviously Jay Barrett as well jumping in the number 2 Chip Ganassi Racing Reynard in 2nd position. And Scar in his normal car because he's been driving the 21 Pagan Racing Reynard 95i Mercedes-Benz. So the 2 Fords 1, 2, and then the Mercedes in 3rd position. And also if we bring him Dado in 4th, he finished as well in 4th position in the Mercedes-Benz. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thanks for watching. I was your host, Neil Haynes, and we'll all see you next week when we're at the Cleveland Grand Prix. And look forward to bringing you that race replay as well. So make sure that you hit our website, search what you see on the screen there. You should find it. Come and have a look for Australian New Zealand sim races on Automobilista 2, running on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And would love to see you on grid at Cleveland this Sunday. Till next time, cheerio.